Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today. Hey everyone, checking in on the biotech sector. We'll look at XBI, IBB, and LABU, LABD. So starting with XBI, we've seen a little bit of inverse trading with the biotechs and the S&P 500 the past few days. S&P 500 was still holding up while the biotechs were rejecting from this 200-day moving average resistance. XBI here at 58.22 and pulling back. So we had 2 days where the markets held up and the biotechs pulled back. But then today we had the markets pulling back and biotechs seeing a very bullish day. So a bit of sector rotation going on. And we can see the bulls are still alive here in the biotechs. Looks like we could test this 200-day moving average resistance again next week. We regained the 10-day moving average support of 56.70, and a higher low has been maintained now and established at 55.87. So that's our new higher low on this bounce. We've got our clear lower high, and we're going to have to break the 200-day moving average and turn it into support in order to gain any more ground on this uptrend. We look at the weekly time frame and we can see we're still riding this 200-week moving average support down at 51.65, and we have been setting higher highs, and this move would have to break above 59.82 and to get into the $60 range to keep that higher low pattern and higher highs going. The 50-week moving average resistance is going to be in the mid $60 range next week. The upper Bollinger Band is going to be right around 60. So there's a few key resistance levels to be watching on XBI. And there's certainly a difference between the S&P 500 biotechs and the NASDAQ biotechs, which is IBB. IBB has a much clearer downtrend of lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart, whereas XBI did have a higher low and a higher high and is now in the middle of that range. So IBB also had the bulls show up on Friday, and we're looking back at that 274.81, the high of this bounce. We're not too far away from that. We're holding all key moving average support. And we'll see if the bulls can get above that 275 level and head back up towards 286.63. We can see on the weekly time frame that downtrend a bit more clearly. We've got our lower highs set and a lower low. Loss of the 200-week moving average support. We did regain it the following week, and we now have key moving average supports. But in terms of the trend, IBB compared to XBI, completely different. Lower high and lower low compared to higher high and higher low. So if you had to choose a bull, XBI is absolutely the lead. And if you have to choose a bear between the two, you're taking IBB. So looking at LABU, that is bullish. The XBI S&P 500 biotechs, we closed at the high of the day. Lots of strength there. We're looking up at the high of this bounce, 35.49 as resistance. And we'll see if the bullish momentum can continue. Although we did have that after hours Turkish coup, so it definitely did pull down SPY, and we'll see if that pulls down the biotechs as well, even though the biotechs and SPY were inversely related on Friday. So the weekly time frame holding the back test of the 10-week moving average support at 30.80. That is a good sign for the bulls, and we'll see if these higher lows and higher highs can maintain as they have pretty much since February. LABD tried to get over the 10-day moving average resistance, could not do it. We were rejected. So now the bulls are going to attempt to form a higher low compared to 28.47, which was the low we saw of last week, and then make a move to try and set a higher high after 32.52. So key support, 28.47 to watch. That $30 psychological level keeps coming into play. Look at the history of LABD. Test of 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We have closed below it. Each time we have closed below it, we've had a green candlestick the following week. It's like clockwork. We touch the 30, we get a green candlestick. 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times in a row now. That has been the case. The difference is this candlestick following through is the weakest one yet in the history of LABD after a $30 test, and that's due to the long upper wick showing some profit taking. So LABD could be in trouble here. If we lose this $30 level, it will be a very clear break of support, and we'll be looking down at the all-time low down at $24. So that upper wick, the lack of the bullish reaction like we've seen in the past, definitely stands out, and we'll be watching. If the bulls do not show up on LABD next week, we will be looking down into the $20 range for continued pullback, which means we'll be looking for XBI and LABU to continue to the upside. So a very important week on the weekly time frame for LABD coming up. We'll check back in on these biotechs. I appreciate you watching. Have a good weekend.